How's everybody doing today? How's it going?
Super.
Super?
Super.
Thank you. Super good. It's nice to hear everybody that's doing well. I love asking that question, how's it going? I ask it a lot. And I listen to the results when I ask that question. And I find it to be a fascinating study. You probably heard some of the things people say when you say, how's it going? Oh, it's just okay, or I'm getting by, or not too bad. It's great to hear the great responses. So as I've asked this question, how's it going? I've found something really interesting that I've learned about people. And what I've found is when I ask the question, how's it going? That most people are not feeling super good. So, that's part of my mission is to change that. We want everyone feeling super good. As Lori mentioned, my mission is to share a philosophy of success, which I'll be talking about 7 principles. There's 30 that I normally teach from, so today I'm going to hit on 7 really quickly. And my other mission is to help you achieve your goals. So with that, goals is one of the first things I want to talk about really quickly. Goals. What is one thing that we absolutely must have if we want to achieve a goal? One thing that's essential if we want to achieve a goal. It's a good one. Attention, yes. Good stuff. Lots of things that we need if we want to achieve a goal. But one thing we absolutely must have if we want to achieve a goal is we have to have the goal itself. We have to identify the destination. Where are we going? It's the one thing that we need. Is there anyone here who has a goal that they're passionate about? A goal that they're really excited about? Maybe a 2011 goal? Yeah, what's your goal?
Stage the greatest enlightenment event in the world.
All right. And I bet you've given that a lot of thought.
A lot of action as well.
A lot of action, a lot of thought, so you know what it is that you're going for. So I saw several hands come up, so that's great to see that a number of you have decided the goal, you know what you want. And that's the question on the goal, is what do we want? What is it that we're striving for? When it comes to goals, there's lots of different types of goals. Maybe there's business goals and financial goals, career goals, but there's goals in all different categories of our lives. Maybe it's not just business or finance or career, but we have relationship goals, right? Family goals. One thing that's popular is fitness goals, health goals. We want to be healthy, live in our best body. Maybe we have vacation goals or travel goals. So that's my question. Goals, what do you want out of life? What is it that you're striving for? What and where? Where is it? Maybe you've identified that goal as a dream home or a dream job, but where is it? Is it here? Is it right here in this community? Is it somewhere else? Where are you going? So those are my questions on goals. What do you want? Where are you going? But more importantly, why? Why is it that that's what you want? I bet you know why you selected your goal, right? You know why it is that you want that. And the why is so important because it's the why that gets us past those challenges in life, right? Because we know that life's going to have its ups and downs. There's going to be obstacles. There's going to be problems. Things are going to go wrong. And so if we pick a goal just because it sounds good, or because we have to have a goal as a part of a business plan, or because we think we should, then there may not be a driving why behind that. A passion, it's the driving why that gets us past those life's obstacles. So when things start to get tough, we can push on through. So the what and the where and the why of goals. So maybe, I've found that when it comes to goals, there's people that are really in 3 categories. There's those people who have clearly identified their goals, people that know what they want, people like those of you who are raising your hand, you had the goal in mind. On the other hand, there's people that don't have goals at all. They haven't thought about it. Maybe they're content. Maybe they're just taking life day to day, and that's okay. But I think most of us are somewhere in the middle. Maybe we've given some idea to what our goals are, but maybe we haven't identified it with crystal clarity, or maybe we don't have goals for each of those different categories in our life. So my suggestion, if you're looking for a little bit more clarity on your goals, is to do this exercise. Grab a blank pad of paper and a pen. sit somewhere in a quiet place for a little while and ask yourself this question. If you had all the money coming in automatically every month, just came in whether you worked or not, automatically came in that took care of all of your daily living expenses. So every month you didn't have to worry about your house payment, car payment, insurance, and food on the table, and all these regular bills, the phone bill and whatnot, that money just came in and you didn't have to worry about your monthly bills anymore. Then what would you do? How would you spend your day? Maybe at first you travel and party a bit or vacation, but if this is the new rest of your life, that you don't have to worry about those monthly expenses anymore, how would you spend your day? And usually that's where you find something that fills you with the passion, something that makes you excited and gives you clarity about your goals. So we need to identify the destination, where are we going, and then we can work it backwards and make plans to get there. So goals, number 6. Obviously I'm skipping ahead a little bit, so we want to come back to number 1. We'll start with number 1, principle, what I call principle number 1, which is the foundation of this philosophy that I talk about. And so the foundation of this philosophy is the idea of responsibility. It's all up to me. When we're practicing responsibility, we're not blaming other people. We're not a victim to our circumstance or victim to the government or victim to whatever. We're not blaming. It's all up to me. Because when we blame other people for things, we're shifting the responsibility. And responsibility is the foundation. And if we're shifting blame, we're shifting responsibility, we're shifting the foundation. It's very difficult to build anything that's strong and stable and sturdy on a foundation that's shifting around. So we need to exercise responsibility. Who's steering your ship? Who's the one at the helm? Who's the one at the wheel? Who's the one that's steering your ship? I like to be the one steering my ship. But sometimes, if we blame other people, we're inviting that blamee to come on board and steer the ship for us. Which that may be okay for a little while. They're steering the ship. We can just hang out and life's good. We don't have to worry about it. They're doing all the work. We're just enjoying the ride. But then after a little while, we may look around and say, wait, this ship's not going where I want it to be going. I want to be going this way. Why are we going this way? It's because you're steering the ship wrong. That's why the blamee needs to go overboard so that we're the ones taking responsibility. We're the ones that are steering the ship. Another term I like to use for responsibility, something I call it sometimes, responsibility I refer to as response-ability. So we have the ability to respond to any situation in any way that we choose. And that's my recommendation, is to choose the response that's best for the situation and not just to let it be a reaction. So many times something bad happens and we just have a gut reaction that's not necessarily positive or proactive. Maybe you find yourself in a bad situation and you know the person that caused us to be in this situation. You know the person responsible for putting us in this predicament. But rather than to blame, sometimes it's best if we exercise responsibility and select the response that's most positive, most proactive for the situation. If you've ever been through a class of fire safety training, what do they say? In case of fire, what's the first thing you should do? Stay calm. Stay calm, because if we're calm, we're in a much better place to exercise responsibility and select the response that's most proactive and positive for the situation. So that's my recommendation, is to exercise responsibility, take control of the destiny, and then we can move on. The next principle I want to talk about is this idea that we get what we give. I talk a lot about these principles, and sometimes people come up to me and say, okay, Mike, you talk about all these things. What does it really boil down to? What is your core philosophy? And for me, it's this idea that we get what we give. It's not new. It's been around forever. Thousands of years, people talk about this idea that we get what we give. You've heard the golden rule, right? What's the golden rule? Oftentimes when I ask the golden rule, I hear do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? But a lot of times there's that second half that is just as important, is we do unto others as we would have them do unto us, because others will do unto us as we do unto them. There's a cause and effect that's always present there, right? Everything stays in balance. What goes around comes around. We reap what we sow. Newton's third law of motion: for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. It doesn't just apply to physics, it applies to everything. But in society, we can see that as simple as this is, and I know you guys believe this is true, we can see that there's people that aren't exercising this philosophy. Because out there in society, we see people that lie and cheat and steal, right? How could I lie and cheat and steal? Because then I know that people would lie and cheat and steal for me, and I don't want that. I'd rather help other people so other people help me. I'd rather teach other people so other people teach me. I'd rather feed other people so other people feed me. Thank you. I'd rather take care of other people so other people take care of me. Because I know that we get what we give every time. We do unto others as we would have them do unto us, because they will do unto us as we do unto them. And then this idea, we get what we give, it applies to our business in terms of service. Think about your business and the service that it provides. Not just the type of service, but more importantly, the quality and the quantity of service that your business provides. Because businesses that are providing excellent quality and quantity of service will get those equivalent rewards, because we get what we give every time. The next idea I want to talk about is this idea of awareness. Imagine a circle. So inside of this circle is everything that you know. All of your knowledge, all of your experiences, all of your education, everything you know is inside this circle. So now imagine everything outside of the circle is everything that we don't know. So hopefully from this little diagram, you can see that everything we don't know outside of the circle is so much more, so much bigger than what we do know. But fortunately, as we grow and we live and we learn, our circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the amount of things that we know gets bigger. Now think about the edge of this circle, the perimeter, the edge. This is the place where what we know meets what we don't know. It's our awareness. It's the place where we realize how much more there still is to know out there. And it's an interesting dichotomy, because as our circle grows and we learn more, we become more aware of our ignorance. It's almost as though any attempt to increase our knowledge expands the level of our ignorance. Which is okay. As we learn, we become more wise to the world. And as our circle gets bigger and our awareness gets bigger, we're more wise to the world around us. And that's great, because those are practicing awareness are more humble and open-minded to the possibilities that are all around us all the time. Now teenagers, they have a very small circle. That's why they know everything. Because their awareness of what they don't know is still very small. So we want to practice awareness, and we become more wise and more open-minded. So the next idea is this leveraging the power of our subconscious mind. Huge topic, something I could talk about all day, but I just want to cover it really quickly. Our mind has two parts. There's that conscious part of our mind that we can use to focus on whatever we want to focus on. We can direct our attention on anything we want. We can plot and plan and solve problems and direct our attention on anything that we want to focus on. And then there's the subconscious part of our mind. That part of our mind that's working behind the scenes 24 hours a day, working to make the thoughts of our conscious mind a physical reality in our life. Our subconscious mind is really doing a lot of the heavy lifting for us. It's doing a lot of the hard work for us, because it's working non-stop, 24 hours a day, even when you're sleeping, especially when you're sleeping. Your conscious mind, whatever it's focused on, your subconscious mind behind the scenes is looking for opportunity. The subconscious mind is always scanning the background for opportunity, always looking for ways to bring those dominant thoughts into reality in your life. So the question is, what are the dominant thoughts of our conscious mind? What are the thoughts that we think about most dominantly? You think about thoughts of debt. Oh my God, I'm in debt. I'm in so much debt. If only I were out of debt. I wish I were debt-free. Debt is what I want to get out of. Our subconscious mind says, okay, what's the message here? What's the theme? Debt. And it looks for opportunity to attract debt in our life. How do we do that? Well, that's really easy. There's opportunity all over the place to attract debt into our lives. It's easy to attract. But if we think thoughts with our conscious mind, thoughts of financial freedom, financial independence, subconscious mind starts scanning the background for opportunity, for financial health, financial freedom. Maybe we start to notice that there's a financial planner there in our midst. Financial planner right there on our way to work. Maybe we start to notice other income opportunities. Maybe we become more aware of passive income opportunities, that income that comes in whether we work or not. And we become more oriented towards that. Now, if we think thoughts with our conscious mind of, oh, I need to lose weight. I'm overweight, I need to lose weight, I've got fat, too much fat. Got to burn this fat. Subconscious mind says, okay, what's the goal here? What's the theme? What are we looking for? Fat. Weight. In fact, overweight. And scans the background for opportunity, looking for ways to bring more weight into our life. And it's easy to find. We see Dairy Queen, Supergood, right? But now if we think thoughts with our conscious mind, thoughts of healthy living, being healthy, our subconscious mind starts scanning the background for opportunity, and we start to realize there's the gym on the way to work that we never noticed. There's the healthy grocery store has better alternatives. We notice hiking and biking trails right there, right by our house, that we never noticed before. And there's ways that we bring the healthy living into our lives. So the question is, what are we focused on with our conscious mind? So of course, my recommendation is if we're focused on our goal, then our subconscious mind is working 24 hours a day, working to bring our goal into our life, which is why having that goal is so important. Have you ever experienced a hunch or a revelation? Have you ever had a great idea that came out of nowhere? You're just walking along one day and you're like, whoa, where's that great idea? Where'd that come from? Evidence that our subconscious mind is communicating with us. Because that's probably something that you've been thinking about for weeks or months. Maybe even forgot about it. But your subconscious mind was working on it 24 hours a day behind the scenes. It eventually came up with a good answer and said, here you go. And that's when we experience that hunch. Revelation. But our subconscious mind is most easily impressed by ideas that are repeated with great frequency and great intensity of emotion. So that's why if we have a goal that we're thinking about regularly and repeatedly, and we're excited about that goal, it fills us with that why, that passion, and our subconscious mind picks up on that and works to bring it into our life. But unfortunately, ideas that we have most frequently sometimes are ideas of fear and worry. And fear and worry are highly emotionalized thoughts. So when you have the fear and worry that's highly emotional, our subconscious mind picks up on that right away and starts looking for ways to bring it into our life. I often say that worry is a prayer for what we don't want. So we don't want to have worry and fear. We want to redirect our subconscious mind so that we're focused on the goal. We're working to bring that into our life. Thanks to our subconscious mind, we will become what we think about most. So in blue, these are the two sentences. If you take nothing else away today, those are the ideas that are most dominant that I want to share. This idea that we get what we give, and the idea that we will most certainly become what we think about most. Largely thanks to our subconscious mind, but really, you are the sum total of all the thoughts that you've ever had in your life leading up to this point today. How could you possibly be anything else? You thought a certain thought in your mind. As a result of that thought, you took an action, you got a result. That result happened, you felt a certain way, you thought about that, you took another action, you got a result, thought about that, took another action, and so on until we're exactly where we are at today. So if we want to change our results, we change our thinking. Because we will become what we think about most, every time. Now this is a very simple sentence, but this sentence is the key to success and also the key to failure. Because this sentence is the genie in the bottle. We will become what we think about most. What is it that we're thinking about most? Because it can be used for good or for evil, based on what our dominant thoughts are. So then again, back to the goals. If we're thinking about our goals, we're focused on our positive future goals, we'll manifest them in our life, and we're just one step away. So I know I started talking about goals, but I want to come back and make a few more comments on goals. One is it's so important to write them down. Lots of people teach goals and they say, you got to write them down. We know that there's only a small percentage of people that have set the goal to begin with, but then of those people that set a goal, there's an even smaller percentage that physically write them down. Why is it so important to write them down? Write them down and read them aloud. And the reason is because it impresses our subconscious mind. If we take our goal that's in our head and we translate it into our fingertips, into printed letters on a page, and translate those ideas from our brain to our fingers to the page, and then with our own eyes we read our goal off the paper and read our own printing through our eyes, read it aloud out through our mouth, we hear the sound of our own voice through our ears stating our goal. Now we've engaged all of our senses. And now our goal is impressed in our subconscious mind. Keys to good goals, two things, I believe. Visualize and believe. Lots of people teach goals and they talk about the SMART acronym, and goals should be specific and measurable and timely and all these things, and I agree with that. That's all part of the visualization. The goal should be visualized with crystal clarity, and that includes all the details, including specifics and measurables and timelines and all those things. And also we must believe that it's possible. Now it's okay to set big and bold goals. That's good. I think everyone should set big, bold goals. We have to believe that we can do them. Now sometimes when we start out on a big, bold goal, we don't believe it at first, but the more we think about it, the more we repeat it in our minds, and we start to believe it, and we know that we can do it. And then our subconscious mind picks up on it and starts taking action. Because if we don't believe it, our subconscious mind knows we can't do it and doesn't devote any of that subconscious thinking time towards it. So it's a couple more thoughts and goals. Write them down, visualize, and believe. And the last thing I want to hit on today is the idea of action. Nothing happens without action. You've got to have action. All of these other things are great ways to look at life, great ways to think about how you approach your day, philosophy to apply each day, but nothing happens without action. And most times, doing anything is better than doing nothing at all. Because doing nothing is an action too. It's the decision not to take action. So each day, we want to take some action that gets us closer to what our goals are. Now we talked about goals, and I also recommend goals for different timelines. I recommend setting goals for our day, week, month, year, and life. But a lot of times setting goals for our week and goals for our month can be most important for daily action. Because when we have our daily goals, a lot of times that's just our daily planner, right? That's our calendar, our to-do list for the day. But when we set goals for, sometimes when you have your life goal, one day doesn't seem like it makes a big difference. We've got a big goal for a year, big goal for the life, and what's one day? But when we set goals for the week and the month, then that makes it much easier if we have any of that downtime during the day or any extra few minutes that we'll spend that taking action steps towards our goals. Have you ever heard the expression, you can't steer a parked car? I love that expression for getting out of the analysis paralysis stage and just getting rolling, taking action. The getting ready to get ready phase, we've got to move out of, and that's where you can't steer a parked car. We have to get rolling. So we don't always have to see the whole entire path ahead of us if we've set the goal and know every step along the way. We just have to know the goal, and we have to be able to see the next step in front of us. And when we see that next step, take the next step in faith that we're getting one step closer to our goal. So those are my thoughts for the day. I hope that you found these ideas to be valuable. I certainly enjoyed sharing them with you. And I'll stick around if you guys have any questions or anything else. Thank you very much.